Ah, the internet. We go there to watch YouTube, maybe stream a little music. I listen to my music locally, but yeah, not everyone does that. Uh, Same with like streaming movies and whatever. Now we also have started doing something that's maybe not so good, and that is assuming the internet will always be around. Um, like now, if you want to build code from source, or like if you want to build an application from source, meaning compiling it on your machine, even if you downloaded all the source code in a Git repo, with dash dash recursive and all that to make sure you really get all of it, if you lose your internet connection, a lot of modern software will not compile. And that's a problem. It's only one example of this internetification where we cannot go offline anymore, and it's kind of sad to see that our world is not crumbling here in the short term, but if we lose worldwide internet access, there will be a lot of damage if things stay the way they are right now. Like, so you're telling me, oh, I cannot compile this Rust program because it relies on clap to parse command line arguments? That's ridiculous. Like, Cargo will now have to download clap from the internet, even though you already cloned all the source code for the thing you're trying to compile. And I think that that is absolutely ridiculous and asinine and just dumb. You shouldn't have to download more source code after you downloaded everything that you need. And I think like there are Git submodules cuz something I've heard people say is that this is required so you don't like run up the storage bill on your VPS or whatever because it stops duplicate files from being stored on your Git host. But that's why Git submodules exist. And the nice thing with Git submodules, instead of downloading at compile time, like for example Cargo does by default with Rust, instead of downloading at compile time, you download at clone time. Clone time is where you're supposed to download this stuff. That is when you download the Git repo itself, or whatever version control system you're using, a tar file even. A clone time is when that stuff is actually supposed to download. That's when you expect to just wait for stuff to download and you don't lose your internet connection. And that is when I think stuff should be downloaded. That's why Git submodules are so nice, is because if you add dash dash recursive to a git clone command, it will download your submodules too, and on the actual Git host, it's not duplicating files. It's simply storing a reference to a specific commit on a different repository. And yeah, problem solved. Now, I was quite inspired to make this video because I would preach this view of mine to other people, and they simply just wouldn't get it. Like they wouldn't understand where I was coming from. They called me crazy, whatever. Like conspiracy theory, oh, paranoid. We're not gonna have an apocalypse. That's not my point. Like for example, if you create an application, package it up as a tar file without the build artifacts, so you clean up the repository before packaging it, you you would expect people to be able to somehow obtain that tar file or whatever and then compile it, right? Well, if they don't have an internet connection and your program relies on a third-party library that has to be downloaded at compile time, how the hell are they going to do that? They won't be able to. That's the answer. And I've heard people argue that, oh, Cargo has a dash dash offline option. Well, what does that actually do? Well, it compiles the program with a locally cached version of the library. Solution? No, because that library is cached in your home directory if you're on Linux, for example, where the directory, like the home directory, is not part of that archive you downloaded, so it's non-deterministic and it's, not portable. Anyway, I got sidetracked. I got inspired to make this video because I saw a website where someone shared my same exact principles that I was preaching, like values, of the internet. And I just want to show you guys this because it's a pretty cool website. 100r.co, and I'll have this in the description too. And I was just looking at this guy's site. I think it's actually two people. I'm not sure. They're very secretive about their life, which, like, no shame in that. I'm kind of public about my life, to be honest. Maybe I shouldn't be. But I was looking at this site, and if you're curious about how on earth I even found this site in the first place, it's because I was curious about something I saw Zozin uh, from Sodding uh, looking at UXN. He pronounces it Uxian, but yeah. It's a really cool project where it's basically a personal computing stack that allows you to write a program and then run it on anything that has an emulator. It's basically like Java, actually. And yeah, I just remembered this project randomly and went to this site. And I was reading the about, and the idea behind these people's work is that it's offline first. And yeah, genius. Just, mm, that's all I needed to hear to have respect for these people. All I needed to hear. They do get kind of political in the about, which my stance on politics in development is that politics should stay out of your developer life. That's just like something personal. Your worldview should not reflect in your work. Keep the things separate. Keep the things separate. Don't put country flags in your README files or whatever. It's just a bad idea. That's how you start doing stupid stuff and ruining your reputation and alienating half your fans. Just don't put politics in your work. Yeah. And yeah, so I wanted to make this quick video rant about like our like just the ridiculousness of requiring an internet connection for everything. Like, it's kind of like requiring a phone. Like, okay, you can assume that most people will have a phone. Like, I have a phone. I actually have two phones. One of them doesn't really work, but yeah. Oh, by the way, this phone runs Graphene OS. By the way. But yeah, you can assume that people have a phone. Most people do have a phone. But, like, a lot of services now, for example, GitHub, they require you to have an external authentication method, and really, when they say that, they mean you either have to have a physical key, like a Yubico YubiKey, or you have to have like Google Authenticator on your phone or whatever. And it's this direction the world is going in of like requiring extra shit that just people are not guaranteed to have, but most people have, and it's kind of disgusting, to be honest. Like, okay, yeah, you're gonna require me to have an internet connection to download and compile your app? Are you serious? No. Like, that's because I cannot tell you how many times, like, it hasn't happened often, but when it does happen, it's really infuriating. Back when I used to program exclusively in Rust, which really wasn't that long ago, for context, I basically program exclusively in C because Rust has some issues, and um, the issues eventually, like, last straw broke the camel's back. I moved to C, never looked back. Um, yeah, so I program exclusively in C now, and I could not be happier. Having a minimal CMake project, sometimes a makefile, using Git submodules, it's so nice, guys. Like, eventually I'm going to create a video about writing safe C code, because I believe that's a skill I possess, and for whatever reason, a lot of people don't seem to possess, and I should share it, because, like, it's going to make the world a better place. Um, if you can write safe C code with some simple principles that um, me following, I've basically never had memory leaks after formulating my principles of writing safe C code. Never have memory leaks. Occasionally have a seg fault, and that is when I'm writing code at like 3 a.m. and I'm just shit ass tired. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly rant, guys. Like, put this in a video, because a video is worth 1,000 pictures, and a picture is worth 1,000 words. Guys, the internet needs to break. We need to see this stuff just fall apart before our eyes, so people wake up and actually fix their shit. We need a total internet wipeout for like a week or something. Um, and I also got sidetracked again. I was saying earlier, something that's happened to me many, many times when I was programming in Rust is that I would lose an internet connection, whether it's on an airplane or here at home even. I lose an internet connection and I couldn't work on my stuff because I was downloading crates like a total moron. Um, anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.